Well, your boy Kirby Smart's not playing around. It's so funny to hear the take of the kids in the program when they speak much more freely outside of media, traditional media settings. This time, the players' lounge, Malachi Starks, a couple players were talking about the transfer portal and what it means at Georgia and the ramifications from it. And it's also refreshing to hear them call Kirby Kirby. It's so curious to hear people call him Coach Smart because that's not that's not what he's referred to in most instances, I should say. I think people at Georgia do it out of respect, but um, they were talking, the players were talking, and the quote is, uh, "If we lose you," talking about this is Kirby Smart to the players, talking about the transfer portal. If we lose you, that's okay. We will replace you. Yeah. So so let's figure that part out. I was looking through some stuff the other day, or yesterday actually, as I was traveling. Did you realize that Jamon Dumas Johnson was an All American? He does not play at Georgia anymore. He was replaced. He's at Kentucky, where he will be a really good player. He was replaced basically by guys that were behind him on the depth chart as the season started. They don't care. They don't care. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm telling you what it is. They don't care who's running out there in silver britches. Now, that's a kind of a harsh way of putting it. I'm sure they care. I'm sure they would like it to work out to where every single person that they recruit is a person that goes on and have success in Athens. That's never happened in college football. That does not happen in college football, basketball, whatever, baseball. Like that's just not how the world works. Guys go to places, it doesn't work out, they transfer. You can transfer quicker and easier now. Back in my day, guys had to sit out, and that was the bad part. You had to sit out if you wanted to transfer. We had guys that couldn't get past. One of our starters was the conference player of the year. We had two other really good two guards, really good. They lit it up. They couldn't get past him starting wise, but they couldn't easily transfer either. But by their senior year, they were killing people because Dan had left. Well, in this situation, you don't have to wait around for the guy in front of you to leave. You can just go in front of somebody. Kirby's point is, hey, I mean, whatever you want to leave, that's fine. And his global point, though, is that the program is larger than any one program, than any one player, and he's right. That's the point here. Is that in all of this movement, discussion, everything that's going on in college football, it cannot be a Texas A&M 2012, 2013 situation. You can't just have Johnny football. You need a holistic approach for your program fighting the world of 2024, well, the 2020s in collegiate athletics. That means you need to be able to deal with the transfer portal. You need to be able to deal with NIL demands, deals, whatever you want to call it. You need to be able to function. You need to have functionality. And that means that if guys want to leave, they leave. But the program has to be bigger than any player. And I've talked about this, y'all, forever. No one player at Georgia, not Brock Bowers, not Stetson Bennett, not, Zamir, whoever. The days of Herschel Walker just like putting the whole state on his back to win the national championship, a guy who should have won the Heisman twice, to be honest. Um, that's over. You can't win like that in college football anymore. You could narrowly back then, but even then, that was pushing it then too. That's by the way, that's not running Buck and Lindsey and all those guys down. That's not what that is. Buck was a hell of an athlete at Georgia. Buck Blue is probably one of the least appreciated athletes um, in Georgia, certainly football history, but maybe just as a university. He was a hell of an athlete. But anyway, it's not how the sport's played anymore. The sport is get the ball out quick to the receivers. The sport is the quarterback's going to run. The sport is you're not playing. It's not Oklahoma drill. It's not bull in the ring. All this stuff that when we were kids, you were playing. You had a neck brace. Like that's out. That's not how football's played anymore. It's not basketball on turf. It's not. These basketball guys, man. You don't want any part of getting tackled. Okay, not by somebody our size. No, we'll just stick with running up and down the court. That's fine. Occasional elbows to the face, no problem there. We're not getting tackled to the ground. That's what this new world is, where somebody like Roquan Smith, who is, you know, smaller than me, but my size and can run drastically faster than most linebackers in history. Roquan Smith is the new guy patrolling. He can get sideline to sideline, no problem. It doesn't hurt his feelings at all. And it's not just Roquan. It's been constant at Georgia. I mean, I mentioned Jamon Dumas Johnson's earlier. You've got Smallman and Nakobe. I mean, I'm leaving guys out. Smallman and Nakobe, C.J. Allen. Now you've got Roquan. They have had inside linebacker after. I loved Monty Rice. All those guys. There is no one player. It wasn't about just Jordan Davis or Trayvon or Jalen Carter or any of them. I mean, think about the 22 season. 21, I mean, I was going to say it didn't have that many injuries. 21, they didn't have George Pickens and JT Daniels, and they won a national championship. Hello? If you'd have told people that, I remember it very well. I remember very well actually where I was when I was told, well, Pickens is going to be out for a while. Like, what do you mean he's going to be out? So he's got an ACL. Out for a while or out for the season? It was sometime in March, but I was in a very small rural town sitting down to eat pizza when I had to stop what I was doing and get that story ready. Well, you'd have thought the season was over. Nope, not with these guys. And if you told people that day, I think it was in March, George Pickens got hurt in practice. He's got an ACL injury. He's out. And by the way, Stetson Bennett is going to replace JT Daniels and be the primary quarterback for the season. There is no chance anyone would have thought they would have won the national championship. Zero. They would have thought they would have beat Clemson. They'd have thought they'd have lost to, I don't know who else, certainly Alabama, Michigan. They played top 10 Arkansas. They played top 11 Kentucky. They played Tennessee on the road. That people would have given, and Georgia fans are great for being pessimistic, but there's no shot that people would have given any chance to Georgia winning those games. But it's bigger than any one or two players. It is. And he says, hey, we'll replace you. I don't think he means it in like a, forgive my French, I don't think he means it like he's talking shit. I just think he means, hey, look, if y'all are going to leave, that's fine. We'll replace you. We'll replace you with somebody and we'll stick you in there. I mean, they'll play. I mean, the program is at a point now where I wouldn't say there's no turning back, but they are so far along from where a lot of other programs, are or have been. When you think about Alabama is a bad example. When you think about like SC right now, USC, what they're trying to do, and this will be year 3. They're starting over at quarterback. It's going to be hard for SC to replace guys. Now they can do it, but they haven't churned out the product. Georgia has. And so, Kirby has, when he says it, people are like, oh, okay, he's just done it. He has, gravitas, for lack of a better term. He has the ability to say to people, well, I mean, we don't really care. We can win without you. They can. Again. The last home game of Georgia's season in 21, the students were chanting JT Daniels' name. He was not the starting quarterback of record when Georgia won the national championship. He wasn't the starting quarterback of record in October. They didn't have George Pickens, probably the best receiver from this point backward to A.J. Green at Georgia. Loudon McConkey was really good. A.D. Mitchell was really good. But George Pickens, at that time, for sure, was the best one they had had. It isn't about any person. Remember when, now they survived the game barely, but Smile London and Jalen Carter both, I know it was Jalen, but Smile London and Jalen Carter both got knocked out of the Missouri game in 22. They won that game. Jalen Carter didn't play for a month. So I think the thing about it is that there, you know, it's a right in a way. People who are employment attorneys will understand what I'm saying here. It's a right to work program. Like, if you want to be here, great. If you don't want to be here, fine. If we don't want you here, they'll get rid of you. And that's where we're at. And I think there's not a lot of programs that can do that. Alabama, certainly, Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. I would imagine LSU. I would imagine Texas. Um, I'm sure there are others. I don't know what Michigan's situation is going to be moving forward, but it doesn't surprise me at all that Kirby's like, hey, look, we're not playing around here. Like, you either want to be here and do the work or leave. Like, if that's cool, we will live on without you. And he's right. Thanks for watching.